on a windswept lane just outside Clifton, where the Connemara hills fade into a sea of mist, Seamus O'Flaherty, a farmer with weathered hands and a lifetime of stories, saw something that turned his blood to ice. It was past midnight, the air thick with the scent of peat and rain, when he glimpsed a black coach rolling silently through the fog. Its wheels gleamed like polished bone, its frame creaked with the weight of unseen burdens, and 6 wild horses, their eyes glowing like embers, pulled it forward without a sound. Atop the driver's perch sat a figure cloaked in darkness, headless, gripping a whip that writhed like vertebrae. In its other hand, a severed head dangled, its grotesque grin stretching ear to ear, its eyes blazing with a sickly light. It wasn't a dream, Seamus swears, his voice low in the Clifton pub. I smelled rot, like a grave opened. I felt cold that cut to the bone. And that head, it saw me. 2 outsiders, the tale might seem ripped from a gothic novel, a fevered vision born of whiskey and shadow. But in the rural heartlands of Ireland, where the bogs of Mayo whisper secrets, the hedgerows of Awfully hide ancient stones, and the cliffs of Donegal echo with the cries of the sea, the Dullahan is no mere story. He is a spectre of death, a headless harbinger who rides through the night, his silent gallop a prelude to the grave. In these shadowed corners, where modernity frays against the weight of tradition, the Dullahan endures, as real as the wind that howls through the hawthorns. The Dullahan, whose name stems from the Gaelic meaning dark man, is no ordinary ghost. Rooted in the ancient Celtic beliefs of Ireland's pre-Christian past, he is a death omen, a figure of dread who predates and surpasses the Headless Horseman of American folklore. Unlike Washington Irving's spectral Hessian, the Dullahan is not bound to a single tale or place. He roams the lanes and borings of Ireland, a relentless messenger of fate, his form a grotesque tapestry of bone and shadow. In some accounts, he rides a black steed, its hooves sparking with unearthly fire, its breath a plume of frost despite the warmest summer night. In others, he commands the coiced bodhar, the death coach, a macabre vehicle crafted from human remains. Its frame is woven from ribs and femurs, its wheels carved from skulls. Its windows stretch taut with tanned human skin that glows faintly in the moonlight. Lanterns fashioned from hollowed crania swing from its sides, casting a sickly radiance that cuts through the densest fog. The horses that pull it, 6 in number, move with a synchronized grace, their hooves never touching the earth, their eyes burning with a hunger that chills the soul. The Dullahan himself is a vision of terror. Headless, his cloaked form sits tall, exuding an authority that defies the absence of a face. In one gloved hand, he wields a whip made from a human spine, its vertebrae clicking as it lashes the air. In the other, he holds his severed head, its flesh decayed to a leathery pallor, its grin wide and unnatural, stretching from ear to ear. The head's eyes, alive with malice, glow with an unholy light, scanning the darkness for the doomed. Some say the head can speak, though its voice is a guttural rasp that carries the weight of the grave. Others insist it remains silent, its gaze alone enough to stop a heart. The Dullahan's purpose is singular, to herald death. When he halts his steed or coach outside a house, someone within is marked to die. In Mayo, they say he knocks on the door, and if answered, he hurls a bucket of blood into the face of the unfortunate soul, a curse that no prayer can lift. In Awfully, he calls a name into the night, and the named collapses, their breath stolen in an instant. In Donegal, his mere presence is enough, the air growing heavy with dread as a life slips away. He does not choose his targets by guilt or virtue. He is indiscriminate, a force as inevitable as the tide. To meet his gaze is to invite doom, for the Dullahan sees into souls and spares none. The Dullahan's origins are as murky as the bogs that cradle island secrets. Dr. Chaim Bryn, a lecturer in Celtic mythology at Trinity College Dublin, traces his roots to the island's pre-Christian era, when death was not an end but a passage to the other world. The Dullahan likely descends from figures like Crom Dubh, a dark fertility god associated with harvest and sacrifice, she explains. In ancient times, heads were potent symbols, gateways to the soul, and offerings of severed heads were made to appease deities. The Dullahan's headless form might be a remnant of those rituals, a psychopomp who guides souls across the veil. Breen points to archaeological evidence, bog bodies in Mayo and Offaly, some decapitated, suggest ritualistic practices tied to death and renewal. The Dullahan's Coist Bodhar, with its bone-crafted frame, echoes these ancient rites, where human remains were revered as conduits to the divine. He's not evil, Briand clarifies. He's a function, like the Banshee or the... He doesn't kill, he announces. But his appearance, headless, bone-laden, is meant to terrify, to remind us that death is both sacred and horrifying. Other scholars see Christian influences layered onto the myth. The Dullahan's fear of gold, for instance, may stem from medieval beliefs that precious metals, blessed by the church, could ward off evil. In Donegal, some tales cast him as a fallen warrior, cursed by a druid to ride eternally as punishment for betraying his clan. In Offaly, he's linked to the Sur, the fairy folk, his coach, a twisted reflection of their otherworldly splendor. Whatever his origins, the Dullahan embodies Ireland's complex relationship with mortality, a land where death is mourned, feared, and revered in equal measure. Though the modern world has paved over many of Ireland's ancient paths, the Dullahan has not faded. In the rugged west, where stone walls crisscross the fields and the Atlantic howls against the cliffs, his legend thrives. In Mayos Ballina, elders recall a 1923 sighting when a black coach was seen outside. A fisherman's cottage, hours before a storm, claimed his life. In Offaly's Tullamore, a 1960s farmer claimed to have seen a headless rider galloping across his fields, only for his brother to die of a heart attack the next day. In Donegal's Slieve League, a 1997 group of hikers reported hearing hooves pounding behind them on a fog-choked trail, yet found no tracks or trace. More recent encounters keep the tale alive. In 2011, a Portlaoise teenager, Aisling Murphy, posted on social media about seeing a man with no head, holding fire in his hands, staring from a hedgerow near her home. Her blurry phone photo, showing a dark figure against the twilight, went viral on X, sparking debates between believers and skeptics. In 2022, a lorry driver near Clifton swore he nearly crashed when a black horse, riderless but with glowing eyes, crossed the N59 road before vanishing into the mist. "I'm not a fanciful man," he told the Connaught Telegraph, "but I keep a gold ring in my pocket now." Skeptics attribute such sightings to sleep paralysis, optical illusions, or the power of suggestion in Ireland's folklore-soaked landscape. "The mind plays tricks in low light," said Dr. Liam Johnson, a psychologist at University College Dublin. Combine that with cultural priming, stories of the Dullahan told since childhood, and it's no surprise people see what they expect. Yet locals scoff at such explanations. "The Dullahan doesn't care what you believe," said O'Connor. a 62-year-old shopkeeper from Edinburgh, Offaly. My nan saw him in 47 outside her sister's house. Next morning, her sister was gone. No illness, no warning. Just a bucket's worth of blood on the doorstep. The Dullahan is unstoppable, but not invincible. Folklore offers one defense: gold. A single gold coin, pin, or ring can repel him, forcing him to rear back and dissolve into the night. In Mayo, families keep gold sovereigns under their pillows during wakes, a tradition rooted in the belief that gold's purity disrupts the Dullahan's unholy power. In Donegal, fishermen carry gold charms etched with Ogham script, blending Christian and pagan protections. Offaly's farmers, more practical, nail gold coins above barn doors, a quiet nod to grandmother's warnings. The origin of this weakness is debated. Some say gold, untainted by blood, offends the Dullahan's deathly nature. Others link it to Druidic lore, where gold was a sacred metal used to banish spirits. "It's less about the metal itself and more about intent," said Owen McNeill, a Donegal Senshai storyteller. Gold is a promise of life, wealth, continuity. The Dullahan can't abide that. Whatever the reason, the practice persists. In 2024, a Clifton jeweler reported a surge in sales of gold pins after Seamus O'Flaherty sighting, with customers citing protection as their motive. Other rituals surround the Dullahan. In Mayo, some burn rowan branches when a death occurs, believing the smoke masks the scent of the living from his searching head. In Offaly, mirrors are covered during funerals to prevent the Dullahan's gaze from locking on to a new victim. Donegal's coastal villages whisper of offerings, fish heads, or polished shells, left at crossroads to appease him, a practice echoing ancient tributes to Cramduv. "We don't talk about it much," admitted Kelly, "but when the wind carries hoofbeats, you do what you must." The Dullahan's terror lies in his inevitability. Unlike the Banshee, who wails for specific families, or the Puka, who plays tricks, the Dullahan is universal. He spares no one, rich or poor, sinner or saint. This impartiality resonates in Ireland, a nation scarred by famine, rebellion, and emigration, where death has long been a leveling force. "He's the shadow we all carry," said Owen McNeill. "You can't outrun him, but you can respect him. That's what the stories teach." His image has seeped into modern culture, from horror novels like Darby O'Gill to video games like Dark Souls and anime like Durarara, where he's often recast as a flashy villain. Yet in Ireland's folklore heartlands, he remains untouched by pop culture's gloss. In Mayo's pubs, Donegal's fishing villages, and Offaly's quiet lanes, he is still the dark man, the bone rattler, the one who rides when the veil thins. Community festivals, especially Samhain, keep his legend alive, with bonfires lit to ward off his gaze and children daring each other to whisper his name at midnight. The Dullahan's persistence is no accident. In 2023, a Mayo farmer near Castlebar found his gate unlatched and a trail of blood leading to his field, where a calf lay dead, its heart missing. Locals whispered of the Dullahan, though blamed a rogue dog. In Offaly, a 2020 wedding party near Birr was disrupted when guests heard a coach rattling past, its wheels silent but its presence chilling. The groom's father died unexpectedly a week later. Donegal's cliffs, battered by storms, yield their own tales. A 2018 hiker claimed to see a headless figure atop Sleeve League, holding a glowing head that pulsed like a heartbeat. Each incident, dismissed by authorities, fuels the myth's fire. For Dr. Breen, these stories reflect a deeper truth. Ireland is a land of memory, she said. The Dullahan is our way of grappling with what we can't control. He's deaf, yes, but he's also part of us, our history, our fears, our reverence for what lies beyond. She recounts a 2019 incident in Donegal, where a priest blessed a home after a family reported hoofbeats circling their farm. The next day, a gold coin was found on their doorstep, unclaimed. "Explain that," Brienne challenged, a wry smile on her face. The Dullahan rides where the world grows thin, on moonless nights, at crossroads, in the liminal spaces between life and death. To hear his hoofbeats is to know time is short. To see his coach is to glimpse eternity. And to meet his gaze is to surrender to the dark. So if you walk Ireland's rural lanes, heed the old warnings. Keep a gold coin close, but do not linger where the mist gathers. Do not peer through the window when hooves echo in the night. And above all, do not open the door. The Dullahan carries no mercy, only truth, a grinning head, a whip of bone, and the certainty that all roads lead to him. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, like, subscribe, and comment below.